In the shadows of history lies a truth that challenges everything we think we know about our origins. My dear seekers of truth, I am Dr. Alejandro Vega, and today we will delve into one of the most intriguing and controversial biblical mysteries of all time. Imagine for a moment that the opening pages of Genesis, those we have read time and again, contain a secret so deep that it could rewrite the history of humankind. What if I told you that the phrase, "Let us make man in our image and likeness," does not refer to what we have always been told? In the ancient clay tablets of Sumeria lies a story interwoven with our biblical narrative in a way that few dare to acknowledge. I speak of the Anunnaki, beings from another world that might hold the key to unraveling the enigma of our creation. Have you ever wondered why humanity made such a dramatic, evolutionary leap in the blink of a cosmic eye? How did advanced civilizations seemingly arise out of nowhere? The answers may be written not only in the stars, but in the most sacred texts we possess. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about Genesis. The truth, my friends, is hidden in plain sight, waiting to be revealed by those who dare to look beyond the obvious. In this journey, we will discover how the enigmatic sons of God mentioned in the Bible might be much more than mere metaphors. I caution you that what you are about to hear will challenge your deepest beliefs. But remember, in the pursuit of truth, we must be willing to question even the most sacred. Are you ready to embark on this odyssey of forbidden knowledge? Join me as we unravel the Anunnaki conspiracy in biblical Genesis, a revelation that could forever change our understanding of our place in the cosmos. My esteemed truth seekers, before we delve into the depths of this revelation, it is crucial that we understand the context in which our investigation unfolds. The story we are about to unravel dates back to the dawn of human civilization, intertwining ancient myths with sacred texts in ways that challenge our conventional understanding. On one hand, we have the biblical account of Genesis, familiar to many of us. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Thus begins this millennia-old text. But what happens if we look beyond the surface of these words? What hidden secrets might be revealed to our eyes? On the other hand, we encounter the fascinating Sumerian texts, written on clay tablets that have miraculously survived the passage of time. These ancient records speak to us of the Anunnaki, celestial beings who descended to Earth in remote times. The similarity between these accounts and certain biblical passages is, to say the least, unsettling. Now, what connection might exist between these two seemingly disparate narratives? The key could lie in a phrase from Genesis that has intrigued theologians and scholars for centuries. Let us make man in our image and likeness. Carefully observe the use of the plural. To whom does this us refer? Traditional interpretations suggest that God is speaking to himself or the Trinity. But what if there was a more extraterrestrial explanation? Sumerian texts describe the Anunnaki as beings of great power and knowledge, capable of manipulating genetics and creating life. Could these be the mysterious sons of God mentioned in Genesis 6? When the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, they took wives for themselves, choosing among them all. This theory, while controversial, does not arise from thin air. It is based on meticulous analysis of ancient texts, archaeological evidence, and linguistic studies suggesting a possible extraterrestrial intervention in the origins of humanity. Let us ponder for a moment the inexplicable evolutionary leaps in human history, the sudden appearance of advanced civilizations with astronomical, mathematical, and architectural knowledge that defies the logic of their time. How can we explain these phenomena without considering the possibility of external influence? The Anunnaki theory proposes that these beings not only intervened in our creation, but also played a crucial role in the development of the first civilizations. From ancient Sumeria to pharaonic Egypt, we find traces of their influence in the mythology, architecture, and scientific knowledge of these cultures. However, let us not rush. As researchers of the occult, we must approach this theory with an open but critical mind. In the upcoming segments, we will examine the evidence supporting this hypothesis, as well as the objections raised against it. Prepare yourselves, dear truth seekers, as we are about to embark on a journey that will challenge everything we believe about our origins, a journey that will take us from the pages of Genesis to the stars, questioning the very nature of our existence. Are you ready to uncover the hidden truth in Genesis? To see beyond the veil that has covered our eyes for millennia? Join me as we unravel this cosmic enigma piece by piece, revelation by revelation. The truth, my friends, is out there, and together we will discover it. My esteemed truth seekers, the moment has come to dive into the depths of this astounding revelation. Prepare for a journey that will challenge your understanding of biblical history and our own origins. Let us begin by closely examining the text of Genesis, specifically chapter 1, verse 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness." This seemingly simple phrase conceals a mystery that has intrigued scholars for centuries. Why the use of the plural "let us" and "our"? The traditional explanation that God is speaking to himself or the Trinity does not fully satisfy when examined in light of the Sumerian texts. Now allow me to introduce you to the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation poem. In this ancient text, we find an account strikingly similar to Genesis, but with a fascinating twist. It speaks of the Anunnaki, divine beings who descended from the heavens to create humanity. Coincidence? I think not. The word Anunnaki in Sumerian literally means those who from the heavens to earth came. These beings are described as possessing knowledge and technology vastly superior to that of primitive humans. Doesn't this remind you of the biblical description of the sons of God? But let's go further. In the book of Enoch, an apocryphal text not included in most modern Bibles but considered canonical by some churches, we find a more detailed description of these sons of God. They are described as beings who shared forbidden knowledge with humanity, teaching them the arts of metallurgy, cosmetics, and sorcery. Doesn't this sound like a transfer of advanced technology? Now, let's consider the archaeological evidence. At ancient sites in Mesopotamia, we've discovered artifacts and representations that challenge our understanding of ancient technology. Statues and reliefs depict humanoid figures with what appear to be helmets or spacesuits, descriptions of celestial chariots that could well be interpreted as spaceships by our modern understanding. But the most intriguing evidence comes from our own DNA. Recent genetic studies have revealed what scientists call unexplained evolutionary leaps in human history, moments when our genome seems to have experienced dramatic changes in incredibly short time periods. Could this be evidence of genetic manipulation by an advanced race? Consider the so-called chromosome Y Adam and mitochondrial Eve. Geneticists have traced our lineages back to a common male ancestor and a common female ancestor, both of whom lived about 200,000 years ago. Does this align with the creation of Adam and Eve by the Anunnaki, as suggested by the Sumerian texts? But there's more. The sudden emergence of advanced civilizations in Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indus Valley defies conventional explanations. How did we move from being hunter-gatherers to builders of ziggurats and pyramids in the evolutionary blink of an eye? The Anunnaki theory provides a provocative explanation that these advanced beings gave us the knowledge necessary to make this quantum leap in development. Let us examine the Sumerian myth of Enki and Ninhursag. According to this tale, Enki, one of the main Anunnaki, created the first humans by mixing clay with the blood of a god. Doesn't this remind you of the biblical narrative of God forming Adam from the dust of the earth? The similarity is too significant to ignore. Now let us return to Genesis. The story of the Garden of Eden takes on new meaning under this light. What if the tree of knowledge of good and evil were a metaphor for genetic knowledge? And what if the serpent that tempted Eve were actually one of the Anunnaki, perhaps Enki, offering humanity the gift of advanced knowledge? This interpretation would explain why the act of eating from the tree resulted in Adam and Eve being like gods, knowing good and evil. The following discusses an intriguing hypothesis. What was consumed was not a simple fruit, but advanced knowledge that elevated beings beyond their primitive state. Perhaps the most convincing evidence comes from the Sumerian tablets describing a great flood. These texts suggest that the Anunnaki decided to destroy humanity with a massive flood. But one, Enki, warned a righteous man named Ziusudra, the Sumerian equivalent of Noah, and instructed him on how to build an ark to survive. Sound familiar? The similarities between this account and the biblical story of Noah are remarkable. However, there's a fascinating detail in the Sumerian version. After the flood, the Anunnaki regret their decision and decide to help humanity rebuild civilization. Could this explain the sudden emergence of advanced cultures in the post-flood period? Dear truth seekers, I know this information can be overwhelming. It challenges everything we've been taught about our origins and our divine relationship, but I urge you to keep an open mind. Truth is often stranger than fiction, and in this case, it might be more cosmic than we ever imagined. What implications does this theory have for our understanding of religion and spirituality? Does it diminish the grandeur of creation or simply expand our understanding of the divine to a cosmic scale? These are questions we must consider carefully. In the next segment, we will delve even deeper into these revelations, examining how this theory could explain other biblical and archaeological mysteries that have puzzled experts for centuries. But before we continue, I ask you to reflect on what we have discussed so far. How does this information alter your perception of biblical history, of our place in the universe? Remember, the pursuit of truth requires courage. It requires that we be willing to question our most ingrained beliefs and consider possibilities that may initially seem far-fetched. It is in this search where we find the most profound and transformative answers. Stay tuned, my loyal followers, as our journey through this labyrinth of biblical mysteries and cosmic conspiracies is just beginning. The truth is out there, waiting to be discovered, and together we will unravel it, piece by piece, revelation by revelation. As we venture deeper into this maze of cosmic mysteries, I feel it is the right moment to pause and reflect on the implications of what we've discovered so far. Make no mistake, this pause is not an end, but the prelude to even more astounding revelations. Consider for a moment the magnitude of what we are contemplating. If the Anunnaki indeed intervened in our creation and development, what else could be concealed in the folds of our history? What other secrets lie buried within the sacred texts we have inherited? I assure you, what we have discussed so far is just the tip of the iceberg. There are layers upon layers of mystery yet to unravel. For example, have you ever considered why so many ancient cultures, separated by vast oceans and continents, share remarkably similar myths about gods descending from the heavens? There's more, much more. What about the megalithic structures that challenge our understanding of ancient engineering? How do we explain the precise astronomical alignments of sites like the Great Pyramid of Giza or Stonehenge? Could these be remnants of Anunnaki technology, left behind as silent testaments to their presence on our planet? But perhaps the most unsettling question of all is this: if the Anunnaki were here in the past, have they truly left? Or do they remain amongst us, watching, perhaps even guiding our development from the shadows? In the upcoming segments, we will explore these questions and many more. We will examine evidence that has been ignored or suppressed by conventional academia. We will connect dots no one has dared to connect before. Prepare yourselves, my faithful followers, as we are about to dive even deeper into the mystery. The truth we are about to uncover might forever change our understanding of who we are and where we come from. Keep your minds open and your senses sharp, for in our next segment, we will reveal connections that will challenge everything you thought you knew about human history and our place in the cosmos. The truth is out there, waiting to be discovered, and together, my dear seekers, we shall find it. My esteemed truth seekers, before we dive into the next revelations, allow me a moment to speak directly to you, our community of curious minds and inquisitive spirits. First, I want to thank everyone who has been following this series of investigations. Your comments and questions have been invaluable to our collective journey towards the truth. Recently, many of you have expressed amazement at the connection between the Anunnaki and Genesis. User Enigma Explorer 23 asked, how does this affect other biblical stories? I assure you that we will address this intriguing question in future episodes. If you're not yet part of our community of researchers, I invite you to join, subscribe to this channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our revelations. Each week, we unravel new mysteries and connect more dots in this vast cosmic tapestry. Additionally, I encourage you to share your own theories and ideas in the comments section. What connections do you see between the Anunnaki and other ancient mythologies? Have you noticed patterns or symbols in your daily life that could be related to these cosmic entities? Your perspective could be the key to unlocking the next big discovery. For those who want to delve even deeper, we've created an exclusive community on our website. There we share additional content, original documents and detailed analyses that we can't include in these videos. Find the link in the description. And speaking of exclusive content, next week we'll be exploring the connection between the Anunnaki and ancient megalithic structures around the world. Were the pyramids designed as landing points for extraterrestrial ships? You won't want to miss this shocking revelation. Remember, every subscription, every like, every comment brings us one step closer to the truth. Together, we're unraveling the deepest mysteries of the universe. Now let's prepare to dive into the next layer of this cosmic enigma. The truth waits to be discovered, and you, my faithful followers, are an integral part of this quest. Welcome back, my tireless truth seekers. Now that we've established the foundation of our research, it's time to dive into even deeper and murkier waters. Prepare yourselves for a revelation that will challenge your understanding of biblical history and our place in the cosmos even further. Let's begin by examining one of the most enigmatic episodes in Genesis, the Tower of Babel. According to the biblical account, humanity, united by a single language, decided to build a tower that reached the heavens. God, seeing this, confused their languages and scattered them across the earth. But what if there's more to this story than we've been told? Sumerian texts speak of a similar event, but with a fascinating twist. According to these ancient tablets, the Anunnaki established city-states in ancient Mesopotamia, each ruled by a different god. These cities competed with each other, and their inhabitants built ziggurats, enormous stepped structures to honor their patron gods. Could the Tower of Babel be a reference to one of these ziggurats? And what if the confusion of languages was actually a metaphor for the division of humanity under different Anunnaki factions? This interpretation sheds new light on the biblical phrase, "Let us go down and confuse their language" there. Once again, we see the use of the plural, suggesting multiple divine entities in action. But let's go further. Consider the mysterious episode of Jacob's ladder in Genesis 28. Jacob dreams of a ladder extending to heaven, with angels of God ascending and descending on it. Could this be a symbolic representation of Anunnaki technology, a means of transport between Earth and their ships in orbit? Now let me present you with even more surprising evidence. In 1976, NASA's Viking probes took images of the Martian surface, showing what appeared to be a humanoid face carved into the rock. Although NASA has dismissed this as a mere play of light and shadow, many independent researchers have pointed out the similarities between this face on Mars and ancient depictions of the Anunnaki. What if the Anunnaki not only visited Earth, but also left their mark on other planets in our solar system? This theory aligns with Sumerian texts, describing the Anunnaki as beings capable of traveling among the stars. But let's return to Earth and more tangible evidence. In 1999, German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt began excavating at Göbekli Tepe, a site in Turkey that has revolutionized our understanding of ancient history. This complex of megalithic structures dates back about 12,000 years, predating known agriculture and metallurgy. What's astonishing about Göbekli Tepe is not just its antiquity, but its sophistication. The stone pillars, some weighing up to 16 tons, are decorated with intricate reliefs of animals and abstract symbols. How could a society of hunter-gatherers create such a complex work, unless they weren't just simple hunter-gatherers? What if Göbekli Tepe was evidence of Anunnaki intervention, a teaching center where these cosmic beings imparted knowledge to primitive humanity? This theory would explain the sudden leap in architectural and symbolic complexity we see at this site. But there's more. Let's examine the mysterious book of Ezekiel in the Old Testament. Ezekiel describes a vision of a wheel within a wheel descending from the sky. For centuries, theologians have struggled to interpret this image. But if we consider it through the lens of the Anunnaki theory, couldn't it be a description of an advanced spacecraft? And what about the enigmatic Nazca lines in Peru? These giant geoglyphs, only visible from the air, have puzzled archaeologists for decades. Why would an ancient culture create designs they couldn't see unless they weren't meant for human eyes? Could these lines be markers for Anunnaki ships visible from space? Now, let's consider the mystery of the Ark of the Covenant, described in the book of Exodus as an artifact of immense power, capable of toppling walls and defeating armies. The traditional explanation is that it contained the tablets of the Ten Commandments. But what if it was something more? An Anunnaki technological device, perhaps? This would explain the strict warnings about not touching it and the mysterious deaths associated with it. But perhaps the most intriguing evidence of all comes from our own DNA. In 2003, a team of geneticists led by Makoto Shimizu discovered what they called junk genes in our genome. These DNA sequences don't seem to have a clear function and have puzzled scientists for years. However, some researchers have proposed a radical theory. What if these junk genes were actually Anunnaki genetic code inserted into our DNA during our creation? This theory would explain why these sequences have no apparent function in our current biology. They're vestiges of our extraterrestrial heritage, waiting to be activated. My dear truth seekers, I know this information is overwhelming. It challenges not only our understanding of history, but our very identity as a species. But I ask you to consider the implications. If we are, in fact, the product of extraterrestrial intervention, how does that change our perception of our place in the universe? What if our biblical history, our ancient myths, our megalithic structures, even our own DNA, were pieces of a cosmic puzzle that we're just beginning to put together? What other secrets might be hidden in our past, waiting to be discovered? In our next segment, we'll explore the philosophical and spiritual implications of these revelations. How does this theory affect our religious beliefs, our understanding of divinity, and what does it mean for our future as a species? Keep your minds open and your hearts brave, my faithful followers, for the truth, as astonishing as it may be, will set us free, and together, we're closer than ever to discovering it. My dear truth seekers, we've reached a crucial point in our journey. The revelations we've explored so far are not mere historical curiosities or scientific speculations. They are the threshold of a profound transformation in our understanding of the cosmos and our place in it. It's time we elevate our perspective and contemplate these truths through a transcendental lens. Let's consider for a moment the philosophical and spiritual implications of the Anunnaki theory. If we are indeed the product of extraterrestrial intervention, how does this affect our traditional religious beliefs? Does it diminish the grandeur of creation, or simply expand our understanding of the divine? Some might argue that this theory undermines the foundations of faith, but I propose a different perspective. What if the Anunnaki intervention was simply the mechanism through which an even greater divine force chose to manifest creation? After all, don't many spiritual traditions say that God works in mysterious ways? This interpretation doesn't deny the existence of a supreme creator, but adds layers of complexity to our understanding of creation. It invites us to expand our conception of the divine beyond the limits of our planet into the vast expanses of the cosmos. Consider the words of philosopher Arthur C. Clarke. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. For our primitive ancestors, Anunnaki technology would have truly seemed divine. Isn't it possible that our current conceptions of the divine are equally limited by our current understanding? This perspective offers us a new way to interpret sacred texts. The miracles described in the Bible and other ancient texts could be manifestations of advanced technology. The Word of God could be knowledge transmitted by more advanced beings. This doesn't diminish the spiritual importance of these texts, but invites us to read them with a more open mind and deeper understanding. Let's also consider the ethical implications of this theory. If we were created by the Anunnaki, what is our relationship with them? Are we their children, their experiments, or perhaps their successors? And if they possess such advanced technology, why haven't they made open contact with us in the modern era? Perhaps the answer lies in our own development as a species. What if the Anunnaki are waiting for us to reach a certain level of technological or spiritual advancement before fully revealing themselves? This idea aligns with the concept of a cosmic zoo, proposed by some theorists, where advanced civilizations observe less developed ones without directly interfering. But let's go even further. If the Anunnaki created us, who created them? Are they the pinnacle of cosmic evolution, or simply another link in an infinite chain of creation? This line of thinking leads us to consider the possibility of multiple levels of creation, each more advanced than the last, extending perhaps to infinity. This perspective offers us a new way of understanding our purpose in the universe. If we are the product of an advanced civilization, isn't it possible that our destiny is to become creators ourselves? Could we be destined to follow in the footsteps of the Anunnaki, seeding life on other worlds? Let's also consider how this theory could change our understanding of consciousness and the soul. If our DNA was manipulated by advanced beings, could our consciousness be a gift from them? Or perhaps consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, and the Anunnaki simply gave us the means to access it more fully. These questions lead us to reconsider our relationship with the cosmos. If we are indeed children of the stars, shouldn't we look to them not with fear or distrust, but with a sense of connection and belonging? My dear truth seekers, I ask you to contemplate these ideas with an open mind and a brave heart. The truth we are discovering not only changes our understanding of the past, but also illuminates the path to our future. Imagine a world where humanity fully understands its cosmic origins, a world where our cultural and religious differences fade in the face of the realization of our shared heritage, a world where we look at the stars not as a vast void to conquer, but as our true ancestral home. This transcendental perspective offers us the opportunity to reimagine our existence, our purpose, and our destiny. It invites us to see beyond the limitations of our everyday reality and contemplate the vast possibilities that lie before us. Ultimately, the Anunnaki theory is not just about our past, but about our future. It challenges us to grow, to evolve, to reach our full potential as cosmic beings. It invites us to embrace our stellar heritage and take the next step in our spiritual and technological evolution. My faithful followers, we are on the threshold of a new era of understanding, an era where science, spirituality, and philosophy converge to offer us a more complete vision of our existence. And together, we are writing the next chapter in humanity's great cosmic story. My dear truth seekers, now that we have explored the depths of this cosmic theory, it's time we ask ourselves, how can we apply these revelations to our daily lives? In what way can this knowledge transform our perception of the world and ourselves? First, I invite you to reflect on your own existence in this new light. If we are indeed descendants of the Anunnaki, doesn't that mean that each of us carries within ourselves extraordinary potential? Think about it. If our DNA contains traces of a civilization capable of traveling among the stars, what latent capabilities might be dormant within us? This perspective challenges us to see ourselves not as simple mortals limited by our circumstances, but as beings with a cosmic lineage capable of extraordinary achievements. I encourage you to ask yourself in your daily life, am I living up to my stellar heritage? Am I tapping into my full potential? Furthermore, this theory invites us to reconsider our relationship with nature and our planet. If Earth was chosen by advanced beings as a place worthy of seeding life, shouldn't we treat it with even greater respect? This could manifest in more conscious daily decisions about our environmental impact, recognizing that we are guardians of a truly special planet. In the realm of interpersonal relationships, this perspective offers us a new basis for unity. Imagine how our society would change if we all understood that, beyond our superficial differences, we share a common cosmic origin. Wouldn't we treat each other with greater respect and compassion? I challenge you to see each person as a companion on this cosmic journey in your daily interactions. Perhaps the stranger you pass on the street also carries within them the legacy of the Anunnaki. This mindset could transform how we relate to others, fostering greater empathy and understanding. As for our pursuit of knowledge and personal growth, this theory urges us to be more curious, more open to possibilities that challenge our established beliefs. I encourage you to cultivate an inquisitive mind in all aspects of your life. Question what you've been told Seek evidence for yourselves and be willing to consider alternative perspectives. But perhaps the deepest application of this knowledge is spiritual. If we are descendants of beings who seemed like gods to our ancestors, doesn't that compel us to reconsider our own divinity? I'm not talking about selfishness or arrogance, but about recognizing the divine potential that resides within each of us. I invite you, in your moments of reflection or meditation, to explore this cosmic connection. Imagine that you can access the wisdom of the Anunnaki flowing through your DNA. What secrets might they reveal? What guidance might they offer for your life? Finally, this theory challenges us to think big about our future, both individually and collectively. If our creators were capable of traveling among the stars, shouldn't we aspire to the same? This could manifest in supporting space exploration, investing in scientific education, or simply dreaming beyond the limits of what we believe possible. My dear truth seekers, I ask you to carry these reflections with you in your daily life. May every decision you make, every interaction you have, be imbued with the awareness of your cosmic heritage, because in doing so, you're not only honoring your past, but shaping a future that could be more grand than we ever imagined. Remember, true revelation is not just abstract knowledge, but how that knowledge transforms our lives. May these cosmic truths be a light that guides your steps, illuminating the path towards a truly stellar destiny. My tireless truth seekers, we've reached the end of this fascinating journey through the mysteries of Genesis and the secrets of the Anunnaki. But remember, this is not an end, but a new beginning. The revelations we've explored today are just the tip of the cosmic iceberg. There are infinite mysteries waiting to be discovered, and you, my faithful followers, are an integral part of this ongoing quest. I invite you to join our community of cosmic researchers. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future revelations. Each week, we delve deeper into the enigmas that challenge our understanding of the universe and ourselves. Share this video with those who, like you, have an open mind and a brave heart to face truths that challenge the conventional. Together, we can create a network of knowledge that extends across the globe. And don't stop here. Take these ideas into the world. Question, investigate, explore, visit archaeological sites, study ancient texts, observe the stars. The truth is out there, waiting to be discovered by those who dare to seek it. For those who wish to delve even deeper, I invite you to join our exclusive online community. There, we share additional content, original documents, and detailed analyses that we can't include in these videos. Find the link in the description and stay tuned. In our next episode, we'll explore the connection between the Anunnaki and the ancient civilizations of America. Were the Mayan pyramids contact points for these cosmic beings? You won't want to miss this shocking revelation. Remember, each of you carries within you the legacy of the stars. You are destined for cosmic greatness. Don't settle for less. Together, we are deciphering the secrets of the universe, one mystery at a time. The truth awaits us. Are you ready for the next chapter of our cosmic odyssey? Until then, keep your eyes on the stars and your minds open to infinite possibilities. The truth is out there, and together, we will discover it.